always wanted to be happy, but guess what? You're not happy. Why? Yes, 6 months ago, that was me. I was through depression, desperate. Things were not working for me, and I was like, wow, sometimes suicidal thoughts were over my mind. But guess what? I decided to change. And today, I'll be taking you through my story and what I learned over the 6 months. Stay tuned.
My epic movie starts when I decided to change. It was August 2022 when a new episode of my life began, and this is how it began.
I am the best. Whatever I do, I am the best.
Most of my time I spend walking around like a zombie, trying to figure it out how my life is going to change. But it was not possible. Some time I spent just giving a shit. But guess what? Things never change. But this happened. It was early in the morning when I went through mental and emotional breakdown. And at that moment, I knew if I don't change, I will kill myself. And this is what I said that morning.
It now makes sense to me, because whenever life comes, whenever life approaches, you have to deal with it,
But I had one big problem, and that was waiting for things to change. But do you know what happens when you wait for things to change? You just wish time between now and your goals just flies. And at that moment, I decided to stand up and start moving towards what I wanted, towards happiness, towards achieving my goals, and started trusting God. Guess what? Things started changing. After that, let's go back to the studio so that we can know more about happiness.
Welcome back to the studio. Well, is this even a studio? Okay, we are going to modify it very soon. So you know what? You have to subscribe and like for you to be notified when we upload a new video. The goal is to be happy, because every time people are asking me, wow, young man, you seem to be very happy, you seem to be enjoying your life. And this is a question that I've been asked most of the time. Norman, when does transformation happen? And here I have the answer for you. Now, there's two things you should understand about your mind. There's something you call dopamine effect. Dopamine is being released in your mind. So whenever you do anything in your life, there's something called a dopamine release. Now, most of the time people try to say, I will be happy when I have money, I will be happy when I be in a better relationship, I will be happy when I get my degree, I will be happy when I finish college, I will be happy when I finish the exam. You know what happens when you get all that? There's no happiness. Then where is the real source of happiness? Today I have the answer for you. Now, if you want to be happy, now it begins by being gratitude. I can basically say is gratitude. So being happy of what you have currently. For example, if you had 2 minutes to live now, what will you do? Now your family members are surrounding you and everyone is there, and you have 2 minutes to live. What will you do? You can choose to complain or be thankful for how you have been. It's your choice. So first thing that you should understand is decision. First, you have to be willing to make decision. So if you want to be happy, first you have to be making a decision that I personally want to be happy. I have to be happy, and the happiness should come from within, not without. So if you want to change, you have to let it come from within. That is one thing. Now the other thing that you should check in is that you should be willing to transform. Now first is make decision, second make transformation. So you should be willing to make transformation. And now I want to speak about something that must transform for you to transform. Now first thing is you have to feed your mind and let your mind know that, you know what, we gonna change. The next thing you should do is feel, elevate the emotions. Now, how do I do this? You know, many are asking. Now, first you have to tap to that emotions. Now, if for example you want to, how will you feel if today you accomplish what you want to accomplish? What will you do? Maybe others will be say, I will happy, I will travel. Can you visualize yourself doing that? Yeah, it starts by visualization and like, yeah, this is what I want. The moment you start feeling that emotion, now you start elevating it, and you know what happens, you start being happy, and there's a lot of benefit when it comes to your health and your well-being. And the other thing that I should recommend is that you should make sure every day you're moving towards happiness. Be grateful for what you do. Be grateful to do what is possible for you. And this is what I used to do back the days, and even today I do it, is that whenever I'm having a bad day, let's say my day is not working, I'm not happy, you know what I do? I sit down before I sleep and look at my life during a day that it was perfectly. Maybe I went somewhere, maybe I was traveling, maybe something happened which I never expected. You know what? Before I sleep, I do this. I sit down and take my mind that everything happened perfectly. So this is one thing that I want to need you to practice. Make sure before you sleep, you trick your mind and show it that everything is happening perfectly. That it as if you have achieved everything. So the moment you start tricking your mind, now it will start connecting you to your future. And that's why another thing, guys, the way I said, remember to involve God. Remember to involve God. Because you have to depend on a higher being. You have to depend on a higher being. Because if you don't depend on a higher being, this body can never make you happy. But now when you start letting the higher beings to come in you, that is God himself, to come in you, you know what happens at the beginning? Because even Jesus, teachers of all teachers, he said what, for you to be happy, you know, the peace that you need, your Father can give it. That is God. He can give it. So be sure that if you want to be happy, remember to depend on a higher being. Apart from doing the other things, remember to depend on God. And that is my final stuff. Bye bye. Let me see the next video.